Hey, everybody. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Naja. Hi, Kyle. Amanda. How you guys doing today? I'm pumped. Before getting ready for this event, I was listening to Drake, so I'm like ready to go. Drake is always the vibes. How's everyone Saturday doing? Ooh,
It's all right. Yeah. How's yours?
Good. Any fun plans for the weekend?
Continue to watch Netflix.
That's okay. Any shows you have in mind that you're gonna watch?
I tried to watch Ginny and Georgia, but it was like, So I don't know. I'm open to recommendations.
I haven't watched any Netflix lately. Oh, I watched Indian Matchmaker. There you go.
How was that?
It's good. It's reality TV, but it's it's good. Hey, Flawless, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, good. All right. I think everyone is here. What's up, Bobbin? I have to give a shout out to Bobbin. Fan forever. Okay. Cool. So, hey everyone, happy Saturday. Thank you everyone for joining us today. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon or morning, depending on where you're from. I'm super excited to host this panel. We have two amazing dope ass managers joining us today. So get that pen and paper ready, write them notes down, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna find really valuable tips in the next hour and a half. All I ask is to keep your mics muted, and that's it. Have some fun. So we have the wonderful Naja Stafford joining us. She is the manager of chart-topping rapper R.A.E. and is part of Kingston. Mute your mic. R.A.E. is part of the management team. Her management team. She plans marketing, branding strategies, creative directions, and secure strategic opportunities for R.A.E. in the US and Canada. She started out as an intern Pro-Era Records and with Plus One Records, where she was later hired as a A&R. So I hope you guys submitted your music because we got an A&R on board here. And then we have Flawless, last but not least. He's a platinum producer and artist manager. Flawless has produced for big names like Chris Brown and is currently managing rising artist Kuro, which I heard this morning. He's awesome as well. So I'm super excited for you guys to hear his tracks. And together they have formed the collective Out of Tune, a platform for creatives to develop their ideas and skills to become successful. So again, thank you for coming out today. We're all super excited to get to know you guys a bit better. I have some questions for you guys, and then we'll move on to Q&A and listening session. So to start us out, I want to ask, what inspired you as an artist manager, and how did you find the artists that you're managing now, and what drew you to them? So Flawless, you can start us off.
All right. Well, becoming a manager wasn't the initial route that I had intended to take. I started out just as an engineer working, hopping around from studio to studio and, producing on the side. And that was, kind of my way of being able to connect with the artists on like a, one-on-one level. And, obviously that whole time I'm searching for talent and trying to, decide who to get my beats to. And, at the time, the studio I was working at, needed his album mixed and mastered. So we, ended up locking in for a few weeks and, developed a relationship, and we kind of kept that going. And, he would come in and book sessions with me. I would, cook up beats for him. And that's kind of how it started. It happened really organically. And, over time we were both, I was, in my situation as the engineer at the studio, and, he was doing his thing, running his own little spot. And we were like, we should just join forces. And, you know, form something that we can both, you know, create together. And then, you know, over time we started, you know, making money and having a lot of, you know, we started generating money from getting placements with beats with different labels. And, you know, we really didn't have anyone to help us get through those situations. So it was, you know, I had to, you know, basically become Say's manager to handle a lot of the placements and a lot of the bookings just out of necessity. And, you know, I kind of learned through that process how to do, you know, pretty much everything a manager would need to do, you know, and, you know, I've kind of taken that formula and applied it to other artists and producers. And, you know, as you said, that's kind of our collective Out of Tune. And yeah, so yeah, I love doing it now. I actually got a business marketing degree, and it's dope to kind of be able to use that now. So,
Yeah, so it kind of just fell on your lap. That's great.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Naja?
Okay. So it's kind of a funny story. I was working as an A&R, doing my little A&R thing, checking all the playlists to see, you know, who's out here that we can sign. And I'm going through it and I come across an artist named R.A.E. And I'm just like, oh, please be good, please be good. And they were, she's great. Yeah, I listened to her music and I was like, we need to sign her. This was when I was in A&R. And so went through the process of trying to get her signed actually to this label called +1 Records. Probably never heard of +1 Records. If by any chance you've heard of Reggie Snow or Anna of the North, they're signed to +1 Records. But yeah, so I'm like, we have to sign her, duh. But it was like getting to kind of that point in my own career when I realized I didn't actually want to do A&R anymore. So I'm like, okay, this will be like the last thing I really do before I'm on my way out. So I'm going through the process, trying to get them signed. And you know, we're getting close to that point, and it comes to like that courtesy moment where it's like, okay, like, I want you guys to do, you know, everything that your heart's desire, but if you sign, I'm not going to be your A&R. And they were like, well, if you're not going to be our A&R, we don't want to sign. And I was like, wow, I'm special. But yeah, so let me go back for a second. R.A.E. has a day-to-day manager named Ibrahim, and they're both located in the UK. So that's who I was speaking with. I was speaking with Ibrahim. And so it just came to that moment where it's like, okay, I don't want to do A&R anymore. They're like, okay, we don't want to sign it. We don't want to sign if you're not going to be there. And just after I left, it was kind of just like, Ibrahim just asked me, like, do you want to co-manage R.A.E. with me? And I was like, boy, do I. And yeah, that's how it happened. And funny thing about Ibrahim is like, there's like, before I reached out, because doing the whole A&R thing is like, you reach out to random people and like hope they want to be signed. You just reach out to managers all the time. And so I reached out to him, and this was like literally last year, like around like last February, reached out to him. I'm going through his Instagram. I'm just like, why does this man look familiar? I don't know anyone from the UK. Why does this man look familiar? And literally 2 to 3 weeks before I reached out to him, we were at the same party in Brooklyn. If you've heard of Meth Eater, they had a party at Kinfolk in Brooklyn. Rest in peace, Kinfolk, because I think they're closed now. But he was there, and I remember seeing him, and I was just like, wow, the way our paths are meant to cross, because now we're working together. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into the whole management thing.
Wow, that's amazing. I love both of your stories. So just to set the tone of like why we're here today, we're here to learn about artist management and get to know Flawless and Naja a bit better, of course. So if you guys have any questions later on, start thinking about them. So anyway, I also want to ask, as a manager, what difficulties did you guys face when working with artists, and being able to break them into other markets, or when do you know it's the right time for your artist to cross over to an international market? Like Naja, I know R.A.E is based in Britain, correct?
Yeah, so that's a good question. And I guess the right time, the right time always looks so different depending on who you are. But for us, the right time is right now. And so that's where I come in. And my job really is to try and get her name out in the US and Canada as well. I'm in New York, so it's mostly US and then some Canada. And the time is right now, and there have been difficulties. It feels like, so for R.A.E, just backing it up a little bit, her goals basically is world domination. She wants to be known everywhere. She wants to be a global superstar. So I'm focused on the US, but I'm also like trying to get her name out in other places as well, specifically South America and Asia, specifically Japan and Seoul and the Philippines. She has a lot of fans out there. And so strangely enough, or maybe not so strangely, I'm finding it a lot easier to like make connections within like the Asian music scene, and it feels like people are a lot more willing to help me like break out over there, whereas over here it feels like this is like everyone is going for the same resources and same opportunities, so people aren't as like helpful. So yeah, just going the path and seeing what I can do. But yeah, it is not that easy.
Yeah, no, and you bring up a good point. Sometimes a lot of artists, if they can't get into like the US market, they go abroad and make a name for themselves there and then come back over here. Flawless?
Yeah. Well, I would say, basically my job as, say Kuro's day-to-day manager is managing his expectations of things, and I'm kind of on the other side of Naja. I with say Kuro every single day, and a typical artist situation does end up having two managers, and we're kind of holding out for someone like Naja to bring into our team, because the two managers, there's the day-to-day, and then there's the more A&R type industry manager whose job is it to kind of find those money-making opportunities and expand into different markets, like you were saying. But we actually do have a pretty good international network right now. We actually have a producer signed to us out of Sweden, and we do a lot of international productions. We get a lot of international placements, and we actually just did a collaboration with a Brazilian artist named MC Dukevi, and him and Say are actually dropping a new track pretty soon.
Wow, so, that's dope.
Yeah, and Say can do it all. He likes kind of testing out different genres and tapping into different stuff and see where we can kind of bring the music.
Yeah, I'm excited for that Brazilian track. I know that's gonna be lit. That's gonna be lit. So with COVID affecting the music industry pretty intensely, and live shows kind of being on hold, and as an artist, live shows are typically the main form of income and visibility for a lot of artists. How have you managed to make this moment of adversity and use it to your advantage in your artist career? Any advice for artists on how to remain visible during the pandemic, or like just in general?
Yeah, I mean, as crazy as it is, in today's world, the social media presence tends to even outweigh the artistry sometimes. So I feel like it's forcing people, in that direction even more so. Um, being super active on Instagram, TikTok, doing, we just so happened to be buying a space to build our studio in right as the pandemic hit. So we were kind of able to keep doing what we were doing, via doing the little live shows. We had our little, quarantine radio kind of thing that we were doing, just trying to give our fans, content, even though we can't actually pop out and do shows and stuff. So I feel like those artists that were already trending in that direction of being super active and, you know, having a Twitch channel, having a Discord, having all these different platforms for fans to still feel connected to them without physically seeing them.
Yeah, for sure. Naja?
Yeah, we've been doing similar things over here. I think this pandemic has been a really good time to get to know your fans because, you kind of have the time depending, but yeah, R.A.E definitely has the time. So we've definitely been figuring out ways to get connected to the fans more. I think we did start not a Twitch channel, a Discord. We did that so the fans could have a place to even talk to each other. And we've also taken this time to kind of do kind of a rebrand a little bit, just kind of level up her image a little bit more, and just because it's you kind of have to look the part. Whatever you want in life, wherever you're trying to go, you have to look the part, and then other people's opinion will follow. So we're kind of in the middle of doing that now with photo shoots and music videos. We had a music video that came out maybe a week or two ago for a song called Not Your Love. And it was that was a whole level up for us. We got this director, it looks all cinematic and clean and glossy. And there are all these different cuts and outfit changes and stunts. And it looks great, it looks professional. And so we've been doing that. And another thing that we've been doing, it's kind of, I guess for me, it feels kind of more so kind of under the radar approach with the way we market the music. We market her music with this program called toneden.io, and they're really good at, it's this little form you fill out, and basically it takes 20 minutes. It's super easy, and you can do Facebook or Instagram ads. We do Instagram ads, and the algorithm that they use is really, really tapped into Spotify streams and how the Spotify algorithm works. And so that has really been helpful in getting her streaming up, because of course it's not always easy to get that feature in Complex or Billboard or whatever, but we can do this under the radar thing where her streams are still going up. She still is getting new fans. It's just maybe it's not worldwide news who she is, but we're still building her fan base. And Toneden has been really good at that. Toneden is really tapped into the algorithm on Spotify. It's the way it works, it kind of gets you. If you don't know how playlisting on Spotify works, it's kind of there's a tier system, and you kind of have to start at the bottom. And so Toneden is really good at getting your music on those playlists and building up and up and up. And so whenever we have a release, we do a little campaign with Toneden, and that is also the reason, a really large part of why her fan base is worldwide, because you can market worldwide. But because we did no special marketing in Asia or South America, and she has a lot of fans over there, a lot of Spanish-speaking fans. I can't even believe it. It's just because at the end of the day, you see the stats and you see the numbers and you see where people are listening, and it's just cool. But then, you go on her Instagram page and she's posted a dance group in Japan, and they're doing a whole little a whole little thing to it. And it's just like, wow, you're real people. That's great. And yeah, and speaking of Tone Den, like I'm not sponsored or anything, but like I love Tone Den. Like I like back when I used to like be on Clubhouse a lot, I would like talk to people like we're doing now. And like a lot of people would ask me about it. So I like wrote out like a whole like step by step how we do our campaigns. So if anyone is interested, you can find me, DM me on Instagram or email me or whatever, and I will share that with you because we're all trying to do the same thing here. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's really valuable information, and thank you for wanting to give back. And I have a question. Is Tone Den free to subscribe
to? Oh yeah,
to?
it's a good question. Tone Den is not free. Like your campaigns, you have to pay for your campaigns. But money is all relative, of course, but it's surprisingly cheap, or how much you can get out of it for so little. It comes to like a couple cents. They like break it down. It's like a couple cents per like new Instagram follower. Like literally it's been great. Like we started using Tone Den last June, and on Spotify, her monthly listeners last June was about 660. Now it's coming up to like 50,000. And then on Instagram, her followers are around 14,000. Now that's also coming up on 50,000. And it's all real people, like, because when we did switch that method, we did see like a huge switch in engagement as well. That's when people started drawing fan art for her, and like the comments just would go crazy, and people would like repost the music on her stories and everything. And yeah, so yes, again, if anyone's interested in what we do, like exactly, I break it down. So just DM me and I can send it to you.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much. My next question is, when releasing a song, what's your rollout strategy to like ensure maximum streams? Flawless?
Yeah, I mean, we like to have the finished mixed mastered record done 3 to 4 weeks prior to our planned release date. And like Naja mentioned, that's a lot to do with the Spotify algorithm, because with the tiered system, if you let's say you upload your track 4 weeks early, you get your pre-save link, and then the more times you promote your pre-save link, and the more times that people pre-save your record, that's going to automatically rank you a little bit higher when your track actually does get released. It'll go straight into people's personal playlists, and it'll pop up on release radar. So that's definitely probably step one. Have enough time to be able to upload the record. And now with Spotify artist page, you can also go on and submit to the editorial playlist. If given enough time, I think it takes about a week after you upload it to pop up on your upcoming releases on your Spotify artist page, and then you can go and submit that way. But obviously we kind of, if it's a single, we'll try to have a music video along with it ready to go probably a week or two after the track drops. And we also have some content creators on our team, so we also try to have several different little promo clips, whether it be like an animated track art or just a bunch of different stuff that's taken post up to the release and then after the release, just to keep fans engaged and interested in the track and have them keep going back.
Right. Naja?
Yeah, that's a good question. And to be honest, we're still figuring that out ourselves. We are learning as we go. Just something that I found out later as I got into the music industry. literally everybody is learning as they go. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just trying shit out. And that's what we're doing. But how to maximize streams? Definitely, as Flawless said, you get the song finished and, give it about like 3 to 4 weeks before it comes out and send it to Spotify, see if they can place you on any playlists, etc. We definitely go the music video route as well. We have our lead singles and we always do music videos for those. The song and the video that just came out is called Not Your Love. And that's actually not a single, but it's such a bop. We're like, let's do something with that. And so that's what we did. And again, Tone Den has definitely come in clutch with like how to maximize streaming. Yeah. And then we do have PR in certain regions who reach out to radio and other publications. So we do have those resources as well that we use with each release.
Great. Thank you so much for all that valuable information. I have one more question for you guys, and then we're gonna move on to our Q&A session. So my last question for you guys is, how do you keep your artists motivated to keep working and stay on track? Flawless?
That's a great question. And, the relationship that me and Sekiro have, a lot of times we kind of motivate each other, his work ethic is, impeccable. I got to tell him sometimes to go out and like have some fun and like go chill with his friends one night instead of just being at the studio every night, And, we have, as I mentioned, we have a few producers and artists signed to us. So there's always people at the studio. And, if I'm not feeling the vibe that day, somebody's up on the computer cooking something up, and that'll kind of inspire me or, even spark the competitive side of me to be like, you know what, let me get my ass up and do something today. So that having, the support system around us and, always relying on each other definitely keeps us motivated.
Yeah, definitely. Naja?
Yeah, that's a good question. And to be honest, that doesn't really fall on me too much because I'm all the way over here. It's really Ibrahim, who's with her in the UK, who's to kind of deal with like the day-to-day stuff like that. But I would say that R.A.E doesn't really get unmotivated. She's very motivated. She's very driven. I think, something right now that's happening is just a little bit of like writer's block for the next project. That's what we're trying to help her with at this moment. So we're all kind of in the group chat, like coming up with ideas, and she has a really good relationship with Ibrahim and then her producer, Bookie, who produces every single song on every single project. They're very artistic people. So like they'll always like, if she's stuck, they'll be like, okay, let's try this melody or, write these words, whatever it is. So yeah.
Great. Again, thank you, Naja and Flawless, for your input. We're going to move on to the Q&A session. So please use the raise hand emoji if you have a question, and I'll call on you guys. Let's see. Anyone raise their hand? Not sure how to view the raised hand emoji. I'm not seeing it. I'm so sorry.
Tyler has a question.
He does? Okay, great. I'm not seeing the emoji pop up, so I don't see it right now. Tyler, what's your question?
I had a question for Naja. So you say you were an A&R before, so an A&R for a label. So what can an artist do to get someone like who is an A&R for a label's attention?
That's a really good question. My answer is gonna suck, but really you just have to do your thing. Pretend that an A&R, what's an A&R? Never heard of that, don't care. Just do your own thing, work on you, and then they will pay attention. A&Rs, I can't imagine what it's like at major labels, but they, it's everybody and their mom and their DMs and their emails trying to get their attention. Some people are nicer than others. Some people will open every single DM, every single email. Other people will not. But the thing is, like, to get their attention is just, as long as you're on your path and you're focused, you will get the right people's attention. It won't be a matter of if, it'll be a matter of when. As long as you're doing you and you're true to yourself and your art, the right people will turn your way.
Thank you.
Okay, next person who had a question, Marcos.
Thanks, Justine. I guess this question is for Naja too, but it'd be cool to hear Flawless's input as well. So Naja, you mentioned before about how there's certain like resources or opportunities that are more accessible in Asian markets as opposed to the US. So I was curious like what those opportunities were, and if you've noticed that there's any other like regions or markets where there's opportunities that are like oversaturated in the US, but more accessible abroad.
Yeah, I would say that I wouldn't say, how can I say this? I think for us, it was really like, or it still is kind of, it's not like a difference in opportunities per se. We still want to reach the same goals, just in different regions. And so for us, it's kind of, the Asian market is like such, like, that's not even, it's different from country to country. But they definitely have their own kind of like set of like practices and like common knowledge and how things are done. So it's really just been kind of learning about those things and how we can fit in. I've learned that I've learned from people who are there, who are managers, who work at major labels over there, like press and publication, they kind of don't really care about you if you're independent. Like major, like, I guess, press places, if you're independent, it's not really checking for you like that. You have to be a part of a major label. So for us, we're kind of, our strategy with that is meeting and getting to know some of the artists out there and seeing if we can work together. And that's going to be our strategy of seeing how we can like work our way in there, because that seems like the best thing to do. Just get, work with artists who are on these labels so that people will start to pay attention on more of a major scale. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, and Marcos, I would just say that, it's important to remember that the world is bigger than just the U.S. music scene. Like some international artists are bigger than any U.S. artists and blow them out of the water. Like we forget we're kind of in like our little bubble over here, but the music is way bigger internationally. So, and a lot of international countries are influenced by, what we're doing over here in the US. So maybe your style of music and your genre fits well in, let's say, the Netherlands or France or South America. So, you can maybe kind of do some research and see what kind of vibes, maybe your vibe is similar to some other country, And I think that would be a good way to try to tap into maybe expanding and breaking your music out of just the US.
Good tip. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you guys. Dean has a question. Dean, you're up.
Thank you. Kind of question for both of y'all, Falls and Naja. The question is, whenever you're managing an artist, or whenever you're making that next move and you're managing an artist, or you want to put them in a position to succeed for that next step, do you do your research beforehand? Is there ever like an intuition move where you're like, okay, this is the right play, or is it always research and then execution?
That's a really good question, and you know what? I think we've ran into a lot of situations where certain people have been talking deals, and we had to kind of sit down together and really maybe decide what the best move was. And a lot of it is based off intuition, but definitely do as much research as possible. We've never gone into any meeting without, I look up as much information on the person or company or whatever I could find out, just to give me some more insight before we walk into a certain situation.
Yeah, that's a good question. How to make the right decision? Definitely, as Flawless was saying, some of these decisions definitely do come down to intuition. They definitely do come down to that. The thing about the music industry that I have learned is that this whole industry runs on vibes, and vibes alone, or vibes and money, literally. Take any decision that gets made by any gatekeeper. I don't know, let's think something random. If you want to perform at the Grammys, or you want your song to be on this TV show, whatever, these decisions are made by gatekeepers, and the way they decide who gets what opportunity is based on whether or not they like you and your vibes. And we know what the music industry is like. So it's, do they think they can smoke with you and hang out with you? Are you okay? That's really what it is. A lot of these decisions really just come down to likability. But I would say, so it definitely comes down to intuition. And on our end, it's because that's really what our job is at the end of the day, making the right decision. And sometimes it's you spend all this time as a manager, saying, look over here, please listen to my artists, they're great. And then, people aren't listening, but then all of a sudden they are. And then you get all these DMs and emails from everybody and their mom saying, let's work. And it's just I don't want to. But it's you got to go with your intuition, because there are people some people, they really do seem like they have it all together. They seem their resume might look nice and they're offering all these things, and you want all the things that they're offering. But then maybe you talk to them on the phone and there's just something a little off about them. You don't know what it is. It's nothing you can express in words, but something isn't adding up. And that's what you have to listen to, because no one ever regret listening to their intuition, you know what I mean? So it's literally that. Yeah, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut, whatever you want to call it. That's definitely a large part of it. And then another way, with the decision-making process, it's really about discernment at the end of the day, how to make the best decision. And the thing about discernment is what's underneath discernment is knowledge. You need to know a lay of the land. You need to understand the basics of the industry. You need to learn as much as you can, hear a whole bunch of different perspectives on whatever it is you're trying to decide. If you don't know something about something, maybe reach out to someone who does, or, there's always YouTube. There's nothing you can't learn on YouTube. And it's literally about that. It's literally just learning as much as you can so that you can have the right perspective and be able to see when something is fishy or something is right. So that's really what we do. We just try to make the best decisions based off of discernment. And to do that, we need to always kind of be learning. Yeah, I hope that answered your question.
Oh, thank you. Really did. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dean. Yeah, and I have to say, it's all about following your gut and remembering that as an artist, you're a business. So whatever you would do for your business, whether it was a restaurant, a store, you're the business. So do what's best for you and your business. Next person, we have Martin and Lottie. Martin, I know you had a question.
Yeah, thank you guys. And thank you for this whole entire platform. It's amazing. So my question is, and I've asked this to many managers, but I guess now things are changing in the climate because of the pandemic and all that. So what are you guys looking for in an artist? Or I guess a better question is, what do artists have to do, or what do they have? What do they need in terms of, like, you know, I guess prerequisites on attracting managers such as yourselves to kind of say, hey, you know what, I want to put this guy, I want to work with this person as an artist. I want to work closely with them. I know for people, when the pandemic wasn't an issue at all, it was more so, you know, we're looking at numbers, Instagram numbers, we're looking at the amount of plays that they're doing by themselves. And then afterwards, it's like, okay, well, this guy is kind of like doing this thing right now. So I'm gonna take him under my wing and help him out. Now with the pandemic, is it now heavily on the numbers more than just performances and the quality of the music?
Martin, that's an awesome question. And like, I have probably a checklist about 100 things that I go through in my mind when, you know, evaluating an artist. And as sad as it is today, like, a lot of times you can't really rely on the numbers. Like, I wouldn't say that's a determining factor. You know, you definitely want to see, you know, certain levels of engagement on platforms, but, you know, when it comes to deciding, you know, whether or not to work with an artist, it's more about the personality of that artist, I would say, you know, and how determined they are to, you know, make it happen. What, you know, what's their work ethic like, you know, not what Naja said, what's their likability, you know, how easy is it to work with them? How do they work with other people? You know, like, all these things come into play. And there's, you know, when basically I would like to see an artist do all the things that, you know, I do consultations with artists, you know, and if an artist is doing all those things already that I'm about to have, you know, let's say that I go over with them in that particular meeting, then that's, you know, a good sign. And, like, for example, artists want to have a manager a lot of times before they're ready. And, you know, there's so many things that you can do yourself, that you should be doing yourself, to attract a manager. You know, have you released music? You know, are you signed up with distribution? Are you signed up with a PRO like BMI or ASCAP? Are you active on Instagram? Are you submitting your music to Spotify playlist curators? Are you making content? Are you have a YouTube channel? Are you, you know, sending your YouTube videos to reactors to generate more views on your video? Like, just there, all these things that a lot of times the artist thinks the manager should be doing. It's, you know, it should really fall on the artist. And then, you know, I basically act as like a multiplying effect to however hard a particular artist is working. I can help you get to that next level, but if you're not putting in the work, my effect is going to be very minimal. You know, there's so many things that, you know, you can just do sitting at home to prepare yourself for when that time does come, and when you should be, as an artist, to, you know, when the time comes to look for a manager is going to be when you start having money-making opportunities coming your way, and you need let's say, a shield around you to protect you from certain things and to handle certain situations that, you're not going to really know how to do yourself, and that's when I would start looking for a manager. Let's say somebody wants to book you for a show, and somebody wants to bring you in for a meeting, and they're going to just ask you for your manager's information, and you're going to look, you probably want to have somebody in mind for that particular situation. It's probably going to be someone close to you, someone you trust initially. But a lot of times you're going to need a manager once the money starts coming in, because people in the music industry are just going to, as sad as it is, try to rip you off if you don't have a manager. It's just the way things are. I deal with it with, producers every single day. If they place a beat and they, I try to help a lot of younger producers, even without managing them. Just I have them reach out to me if they get a deal, and I'll just act as management just to get the deal through. Because just by saying, as if a producer says to a label, I don't have a manager, your price drops by, several thousand immediately. It's crazy. And as an artist, it's the same thing. A manager is going to be able to negotiate, a higher price for you, and they should know how to speak the language, and probably have, an attorney friend, or, someone that can act as an attorney for these situations. And, I would just say, try to focus on doing everything that you can to further your artistry, and someone's going to come along, or the time's going to come when you're going to need to reach out and set something up.
Yeah, literally exactly what Flawless said. I think, I realized that my criteria for signing an artist to the label and looking for an artist to manage is kind of the same exact criteria for me. I feel like one of the things that I don't really like about these modern times that we're in is that artists really do kind of have to be their own managers first, which I feel like, there's no way around that. I honestly wish it wasn't like that, because it's just in a perfect world, all you'd have to focus on is your art, but you kind of have to do all these things for yourself first. As Flawless was saying, you have to know about is your social media looking right? How's your image looking? What's your brand? You're not a marketer, you're an artist, but you have to do all these things for yourself now. And so, yeah, finding a manager. And what I've come across is people have asked me this before. Sometimes there really isn't anything to manage yet, but there will be a point when there is. So you kind of have to assess what you have going on, as Flawless was saying. Is there something to manage? Are people reaching out to you? Do you actually need help with something? What exactly do you want a manager to do for you? And the thing I feel is a misconception sometimes that a manager, once you get a manager, they're not necessarily gonna instantly make all your dreams come true. They will help you get there. Definitely, that's their job, but they're not this band-aid on how to become famous overnight. And finding a manager, I would say, if you've ever dated someone, finding a manager is the dating process. You have these goals in mind. Let's say, we were dating someone, you're at the table, you're okay, I want 3 children, a house in the suburbs. Let's continue to talk over multiple dinners to see if we are compatible enough to reach that point. And so it's literally the same with a manager. You just have to realize, speak to each other, get to know each other, it's really important, find out like what your goals are. Like, what kind of artist do you want to be? Do you want to be an artist that, you know, they don't want to be famous. You don't want to be famous, but you want, you know, your streams up. You want to get money from streams, but you don't want to be worldwide famous. Or do you want to be like R.A.E? Do you want to be a household name? Do you want whatever, whatever? And as a manager, you know, you're also a person with your own agenda. What do you want? Do you want to be the manager that is at the red carpets, at the Grammys, doing all that? That's what I want. And so me and R.A.E are very compatible in that area. But it's really about, like, you know, as much as you want a manager, finding one definitely is a process, because it's like, why I was so reluctant to become a manager for such a long time is because it's just like, it's such a big deal asking someone to put their career in my hands. But Ibrahim, R.A.E's day-to-day manager, was like, it's all good. Like, what you don't know, I know. Like, we'll work this out. But yeah, you just have to get to know someone. It's all about trust. Like I said before, go with your intuition. Like, what's your rapport with this person that might be your manager? You know, how do you feel comfortable expressing your ideas to this person? Do they shoot you down? Are they trying to like direct your career? Do you feel like you can speak your piece without fear? Like, all these things. It's just like, this is a person that you're going to be in business with. You're going to be working closely with for a long, long time. Better to, like, you want to be more on like a friend rather than stranger, because, you know, before this pandemic, like, day-to-day manager stuff was like, you're together all the time. And sometimes, like, from what I've heard from other day-to-day managers, like, you better be friends, because there are gonna be days when you fucking hate each other. And it's just like, there are things going on, and you do turn into like an assistant on certain days, and there is something to get done, and it's like, okay, like, so-and-so sister's in town, I gotta go get their fucking shoes so they could, because they need something to wear to the concert that's gonna happen tonight. Like, the only way you can be motivated to do like the terrible tasks like that is to actually genuinely like the person you're managing, and vice versa. The artist needs to like you too. So I think I went on a tangent, but I hope that answers your question. If it didn't, let me know.
Thank you, Naja. And yeah, there needs to be a match.com for like building up your creative team.
For sure.
We have time for 2 more questions. Lottie, I know you had a question.
Yeah, hi guys. Thank you so much, Flawless Naja, for being here. My question is in relation to artists that quote unquote outgrow their management. Is that something that you've experienced? Do you think that's a real thing? Because I know that artists can have like multiple types of managers as they advance throughout their career. What are your thoughts on that, on how you approach talent that might outgrow you, or if you have talent that has stated that to you before?
I guess I'll go first. Yeah, so personally, I haven't been in that boat yet. But I think it's definitely a real thing. I think, like, as I was just talking about, like, the dating process, it's like the same thing. It's like any other relationship, you're just doing business as well. It's like, maybe you're in this relationship and you're happy as can be for 10 years, but at the end of 10 years, you realize you have different goals. You grew into different people, whatever, what have you. You know, things happen, life happens, relationships change. So sometimes I've definitely heard of people outgrowing their managers. Kind of, whether it's, sometimes I've heard of like someone, like, they blow up really fast, and at the time their manager was their best friend. But then now they're at this level where they actually need someone who like has certain connections and abilities, and I've heard of people outgrowing their managers in that way. But yeah, I think it's definitely possible. It definitely does happen. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Yeah, it's never happened to me. personally, a lot of time, like my involvement in the whole process is very integral. You know, I'm not your typical manager. I oversee like a lot of, you know, from the production aspect, from making the beat to physically sitting there and engineering the session and recording the artist, to mixing and mastering the record, to, you know, the planning of the marketing, the entirety of the process, you know, I have a hand in. So, you know, me personally, it hasn't happened to, but I know, like, I there's definitely situations where a manager, you know, or an artist can outgrow their current management. You know, just like Naja said, if they blow up quickly and, you know, let's say they just had their friends managing them and they're not really doing shit and not really helping, then, you know, obviously then it would be a situation where they would want to cut ties. But, you know, I always preach to my guys is to, you know, protect and value the percentages of yourself and how much you give certain people, and, you know, to that, how valuable that really is. Because, you know, at the end of the day, my goal for the people that I manage is to share the management with someone in Naja's role who is tapped into a network and, you know, can get songs places that I necessarily can't, you know, and like that there can be different situations where, you know, let's say, you know, somebody has a manager that was their friend coming up, and instead of parting ways, they might just have to break them off some of their percent to, you know, a more industry type manager, because they just can't do the things that this other person can do. And it's a business. So if one side isn't putting in the work, then, you know, gotta cut ties.
That's real. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
And our last question, Courtney.
Hey, hi everybody. Thanks for being here. My question is I guess for artist management organization, is there anything, any apps or anything that you guys is your go-to to keep you organized on your day-to-day? And is there any words of wisdom that you want to share with us as far as something you wish you knew going into artist management?
Yeah. I'm more old school, honestly. Like, we have whiteboards up everywhere in the studio, and a lot of times that's how we stay organized with, you know, our, you know, daily goals, you know, whatever project we're working on, you know, what the percentage of completion of the project is, you know, which tracks are mixed and mastered. And then obviously, you know, I have just the, you know, calendar app, and try to keep everything organized as far as, you know, what we have to do that day. And, you know, me and Kuro also run our studio, so we're always, you know, booking sessions, and, you know, it's definitely important to stay organized and efficiently manage your time. But yeah, as far as like apps to use, I wouldn't really have a recommendation. But words of wisdom would be to have a thick skin when dealing with artists, because, you know, it's not always going to be, you know, good times. You know, there's going to be some situations where you're going to butt heads and have different opinions. And it's also important to be very transparent with everything and kind of be 100% honest with situations with the artist, and, you know, have their expectations managed properly. So whatever situation you guys are going into, they know what to expect. So there's no surprises, and that will make things go, you know, a lot smoother.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I just write things down on a piece of paper. I have a pen. I do that. Definitely in my little calendar on my phone as well. Honestly, yeah, it's not like, at least for me, what I do, it's not like I don't have like 1,000 things to juggle at one time. It's really what I do is like, and I mean, kind of at the end of the day, what management is like, you're the admin person, like you're doing customer service. So literally, it's just like emailing people and like following up on certain things. So it's just like just write down, oh, I need to get back to so and do whatever. Yeah, so I don't really have an app for that. I mean, there's the notes app, always comes in handy. And then something I wish I knew. There's so many things that I wish I knew when I was just starting out. One of them is kind of, I guess, about like networking. I was thinking about this the other day. Like pre-pandemic, I guess, like I used to like go to networking events and like try to network with everybody, and I'd be like so feverish about it and like gotta meet everyone. Like, oh my goodness, like this person, like what if they have this opportunity and like whatever, like FOMO type of vibes, like gotta get to know everyone. But that's not really how it's done, or like you don't have to do it by like that way by any means, and that honestly isn't really helpful to like at the end of the night have like 200 people added to your Instagram and you don't really remember what you spoke about with any one of them. It's really more so what I learned was like going into these events or spaces like these or like other virtual ones, just like see, meet a few people, like try and establish genuine connections with a few of them. Some of them will stick, some of them won't. But at the end of the night, you might have like one or two people that you might be able to like reach out to again or speak to, instead of just like 100 people that you kind of don't really know, and like they don't really know you and whatever. And something else I wish I knew was, I guess this was more so about like, I guess like, I don't know, kind of like taking a deep breath and like not moving out of like desperation, I guess, because there are things that we all want and we all want them right now, but it's never a good idea to make decisions out of desperation. And that kind of like, similarly to what I was speaking about before with trusting your intuition, sometimes like these really great opportunities will present themselves, but the person presenting them is just a little bit off, or they might be like this amazing gatekeeper, but you realize their morals are disgusting. And it's just like, you don't have to be liked by this person. Like I was really concerned with like making sure all these people liked me, blah blah blah. And it's like, that's not what it's about. Like the right people will like me, and then those are the people that get added to the network, and those are the people that I build with, and we build with each other. It doesn't have to be like, the thing about the music industry is that there are so many different ways to work your way in, and the way you work your way in is not going to be the way anybody else does it. And so I was like, oh, I need to have a good relationship with this person, even though they suck and I don't like them and they give me the heebie-jeebies. But like, it's just like, you don't have to do that. You just go with the people who like you and the people that you vibe with, and like, doesn't matter like who it is. Just go with the right people, not the people that you think can get you somewhere when they suck personally, because it's never going to work out. Yeah, and then I think that's really it. And then I think I was speaking about it earlier, like what I wish I knew is that like the music industry really does run on vibes and vibes alone. Like you just gotta do customer service. If you ever done customer service before, you know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, how are you? it's all about do people like you. So if you're good at like, you know, you could like pretend and act and like just get people to like you, especially as a manager. It's like, I'm not representing myself or just myself. I'm representing like a whole other person. So I did have to be on my P's and Q's and just like communicate in such a way that, you know, I'm just, oh, hello, how are you? Let me ask you a question that makes you feel seen and heard and things like that, so that I can like establish a relationship and connection quickly and then see how I can work with someone. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
It does. Thank you so much. Thank you both.
Thank you guys so much. Now it's my favorite time of our event. It's our jam session, our listening session. I just want to make sure you guys are doing okay and are still here with us. So give me some claps or some snaps so I know that you're alive and well and you took in all the information. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to give you guys like a 2-minute little bathroom break or water break, whatever you need. So we'll be back at 1:08 if you're on Eastern time. So see you in a little bit. So as I said before, now is my favorite time, the listening session. We have our little resident DJ, Shaylin, getting ready to play all the good music. But before she gets started, I wanted to share some exciting news. We are introducing our Slapper Saturdays playlist. It's a playlist from the event submissions we receive on a weekly basis, and it will be updated regularly, so every Saturday. If you want to have your music featured on the playlist, you must be on Spotify or send us Spotify song links. The playlist is exclusively featured on Spotify.
We have got Shadow by Elsie. Let me know if you guys can hear this. Good? Oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, it's not playing yet. Hold up, because I can't even hear it. All right. Can you guys hear it? Throw a thumbs up. Yeah? Okay, cool.
Two years with no sleep. Guess I've been living a dream. I'm sinking. I've hit the bottom. Searching for something. Cast aside the feeling. Looking out from behind. I got this energy. I feel it haunting me. I know it's following, and now I've realized I'm a shadow of who I used to be. I'm blending in on me. Never been so hollow. Feeling incomplete, like I can see through me, but it's making me stronger than yesterday. I'm embracing the ugly. I cannot run from reality, 'cause the shadow is me.
You're muted, Alexi.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, my bad. Okay, cool. Could everybody hear that in the background, by the way? You guys could this time? Okay, cool. So I was trying to say, raise the roof if you guys like Elsie. So raise the roof if you guys like Elsie. All right, cool. So that was Miss Elsie, and then we are gonna go on to our next one. This is Feeling Good by Ethan Patrick. Ethan or Jake, are you here, or one of your reps?
That's actually Madison's artist, Ethan Patrick.
Oh, okay, cool. Madison couldn't make it today, but we promised we'd listen to his music. So here we go.
Feeling good, feeling right. 2 a.m. summer night, she's on my mind. Never have to check the time, it's paradise. She tells me she likes me, I think that it's likely. Now it's 2 a.m. summer night. Parents gone, it's a vibe. Sneak through mine. Say you never hit the light. Save your time. Whenever you need me, just find me in paradise. She changing the vibe. Call on the phone, yeah, she hit on my line. Fucking with me and she's changing my mind. Man, it's never been better, she's changing my life. Whoa, whoa. And the summer weather got us feeling right. Yeah, the summer setting fading to the sky. Oh, whoa, whoa. And I'll be here holding on. Feeling good, feeling right. 2 a.m. summer night, she's on my mind. Never have to check the time, it's paradise. She tells me she likes me, I think that it's likely. Now it's 2 a.m. summer night. Parents gone, it's a vibe. Sneak through mine. Say you never hit the light. Save your time. Whenever you need me, just find me in paradise.
All right, that was Ethan Patrick. Round of applause. Woo! Naja or Brendan, if either of you have any feedback, feel free to just hop in and say if you like the song or if it's trash. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I was definitely feeling that one. That was a vibe.
Cool. All right. Next up, we have got. Let me just pull this up. We've got Someday by Dean. Dean, are you still here? Yeah, Dean, I see you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I actually sent the wrong song, but it's cool.
You sent the wrong song. Which song do you want me to play? I got you. You always got fire music.
Love Magic.
Ooh, I like Love Magic. If this will load, I got you. All right, here we go.
Love magic, we're making love magic. It's all in the air, can you taste it? If your love was a liquor, I would chase it. But I wouldn't chase it, cause I like it raw. Love magic, love, oh, oh. Your love turned me to an alcoholic. Only sips of you was solid, baby. You smell so fresh, you could lick this mint stemming from your scent, And I know falling in love's never been so easy. And I know we could be forever, just put the time in to believe me. So baby, what's with the stalling? I might be a player, but I'm shot calling. You're fine in your bonnet, it's no longer platonic. We gotta have it, let's get attracted and make love magic. We making love magic. It's all in the air, can you taste it? If your love was a liquor, I would chase it. But I wouldn't chase it, cause I like it raw. Love magic. Love, oh, oh.
All right, what do we think of this one? Woo!
That was fire.
Thank you, thank you.
Mix was really good too, bro.
Dean, who's your engineer again? Oh yeah, Knock.
Oh yeah,
right.
Knock. Yeah, he's out of Broward County. He's a monster though. He does a lot of work. He's working with Rick Ross, Dave East, Jadakiss. The list goes on. R.A.E, if you know R.A.E, he really helped blow her up. Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah,
well, stay close to him, cause he got you sounding right.
Hey, appreciate that.
Nice. All right. We've got a few more. Let me just pull these up really quickly. Sorry, y'all. I was not prepared to speak today. Let's see who else we've got. So today we've also got Lottie. You submitted Black Poet. So let me get you right here. Hold up. Gotta get your music sounding good. 1 second. Your music already sounds good. I just gotta get it set up. 1 second. All right, y'all. Here we go. And this is Black Poet by Miss Lottie Die.
Single out these bitches like a roll call. Who's next up? Can't have more than one star. I got more shine than the whole boulevard. Yeah, she wanted options, so you slipped up. That's your fault. Tripping up a double dutch. It's too bad that you don't know what you lost. You ain't tryna work this, but you wanna keep me in your back pocket. You know when you call me, I'll be right there. So you're tryna keep me in your back pocket. Yeah, you know I ain't with that shit. No, I ain't gonna let you keep me in your back pocket. Am I just another notch in your bell? Notch in your bell. Just a notch in your bell. Notch in your bell. Why you couldn't keep it 100 with me? Why you have to lie? You never had to sneak all around these streets. You could've said goodbye. Ain't nobody holding up a gun in your head. Ain't nobody tell your ass to lay in my bed. Ain't nobody make you take the keys to my pad. Falling for your ass was my bad. You ain't tryna work this, but you wanna keep me in your back pocket. You know when you call me, I'll be right there. So you're tryna keep me in your back pocket. You know I ain't with that shit.
I didn't want to stop it. I'm sorry, Lottie.
That's my jam.
Wait, are you singing on the track?
No, that's Samara. We co-wrote that.
Yeah, that was so good. I'm gonna keep you in my back pocket. I'm gonna be singing that around my house.
I do, Loki.
That's so good. Let's see. All right. So next up, we have got. Let's see who else we've got. We have got Miss Brianna. Brianna, which song do you want me to play? I have two from you. I got Lend a Hand and I've got So Deep.
Play So Deep.
So Deep? Okay, give me 1 second. I got you, girl. Let's go. Rolling in the deep. I'm about to perform for you guys. You guys are going to hear me sing today. Just kidding.
Free show.
I'm not that bad of a singer. Here we go. Oh, wait, Brianna, it's not loading for me. Let's see.
Hold on.
You sent it on Google Drive. If you send it to me really quickly via the chat, I can open it up. In the meantime, I'm going to play Mobius. This is Mobius. Keep time, Mr. Marco.
When you go, I find I can't keep time on myself. When you go, I find I
Ooh-wee. Brendan and Naja, what do you think?
I like that. That was a real vibey record. I think there's maybe being a little bit more balance between the vocal level and the guitar solo level, but the guitar solo was fire. But just my critique would be from a mixing perspective. That's it.
Nice.
Thanks.
Ooh, go Marcos. All right, then I am gonna play Miss Brianna's, and that is it for the day. I know we're running a little bit over. Sorry, y'all.
Lex, is it okay if we play Naja's and Flawless again, because most people didn't hear it?
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. Let me do Brianna's, and then we'll do theirs right after. 1 second. All right, here we go.
If I could just lay down, surround sound, but yeah, one day we could kick back and relax. I just wanna chill with you. Drop down the car with a view, look at the sun setting too. Picture perfect frame stuck to you like glue, forever lasting like eternal magic. You got me so deep in my fantasy, you're addicted to me. A highway, no sailing. I want you all for me with no sharing. I've been bearing my heart for you. Holding me closely, sleeps for the week. I feel it in my knees. I know matching vibes perfectly. When I speak, you understand me. No more Morse code. Read my mind like a genie. Oh my, grant me my wishes for life. Give it back in due time. Got me so deep in my fantasy, you're addicted to me. High with no ceiling. I want you all for me. I've been bearing my heart for you. Baby, you're the stars in my life. Baby, you an angel in my life. Ain't nothing gonna change. You got my heart on lock. I know what you want. Baby, you're the moon and the key. You're the best part of me. You got my heart on lock. I know what you want.
Brianna, I'm gonna start crying. I am gonna start crying. Woo!
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Brianna, that was beautiful. Sounded really good.
Thank you.
So we've been trying to get Brianna to play some music for the last couple of weeks, because every single time something goes on with either getting the song to us or just going to the wrong email address. Finally, thank you. All right, we are gonna go back to Miss Naja's artist R.A.E, and then we'll finish up with Brendan's artist Kuro. Oh wait, no, you submitted a different song, so I'll get that one up, and then we will be done for the evening. So let me just pull it up really quickly. Oh wait, no, you did send Kuro. Okay, cool. So I got Not Your Love. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, they're both on Spotify.
Yeah, I got them. Just gotta pull it up. I have this tiny ass laptop, and it is not the jam. All right.
Tiny laptop for your tiny hands.
My little baby hands. I'm 5'2", so I need something small. All right, here we go. This is Not Your Love again by R.A.E.
beginning of a lost trust. And now you got me speaking in abundance. Past disrespect, cause you be troubling my conscience. Give you the finger when your presence is amongst us. No need to talk because I'm making you redundant. And this is the reason why you never pass judgment. Reluctant, heavy-headed or despondent. Despondent, heavy-headed or reluctant. I don't give a damn about you. Cause I be chillin' in my coop. Some blazing make my shades look cool. Cause evidently I've been done, it's true. No more games leveled up, what's new? Got a degree, got a house, new boo. Some blazing make my shades look cool. Cause evidently I'm a done, it's true. My love is not true love. My love is not true love. My love is not true.
I don't want to stop these songs. We're about to do a Finessed Media dance party one of these days on Zoom. We're not even going to host these educational events anymore. It's just going to be parties. All right, y'all. We are going to finish up with Say Kuro, Made Men. Are y'all ready? Give a thumbs up if you're ready. Let's see it. Let's see.
Yeah, and this is also featuring my other artists, My Little Crybaby. They have a whole collaborative project out called Girls that just dropped a few weeks ago. So definitely go check it out.
Let's go. All right. This is Made Men, y'all. Enjoy.
SB going retarded, you know. She was too legit. I couldn't quit her love, knowing I ain't needed it. Didn't want nobody else, they won't repeat it. If it was anybody bullshit, I ain't feeding it. She was too legit. She the type you would never need another bitch. I know I'm right, cause look how happy my mother is. You was right, couldn't believe I said fuck this shit. She was too legit, looking good like who is this? I ain't falling for you, I'm already doing it. I've been calling on you, I ain't gon' do it. Just wanna talk to you, tell me why you doing this. I'm in the mood, you was too. Everything I said, most some lies, most some truth. Let my shit on red, she ain't wanna read what I sent through. I was better off dead, my heart beating red. It don't get easy because you left. It just get harder because we're stressed. I wish you the best, I really do. She was too legit. I couldn't quit her love, knowing I ain't needed it. Didn't want nobody else, they won't repeat it. If it was anybody bullshit, I ain't feeding it. She was too legit. She the type you would never need another bitch. I know I'm right, cause look how happy my mother is. You was right, couldn't believe I said fuck this shit. Had it right, played it wrong, it out every song. Been a minute since I went out on some sucker shit. Why the fuck I play this game, I got no luck in it. So you can't feel me over FaceTime, I ain't touching it. I don't deny that when I'm angry, I get beastie. When you out here in these streets, you can't be treated. I got dreams, but ain't sleeping. Know it's hard to reach me, know it's hard to please me. And everything get better when the blood lit. Why we gotta argue over dumb shit? Got it up the muscle, baby, you know how it goes. To me, ain't playing your friend up. And everything get better when the blood lit. Why we gotta argue over dumb shit? Got it up the muscle, baby, you know how it goes. Tell me I ain't playing your friend up. She was too legit.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was a really good collab.
Mm-hmm.
That was really good.
Thank you guys. Appreciate the love.
That's dope. We might need to
Yeah,
do
that
it.
was dope. I was listening to Girls this morning as I was getting ready to say Kuro and to Drake. That shit got me ready for today. I was like, okay, I'm ready.
That's in the vibe.
Yeah.
Brendan, Tyler asked, or no, not Tyler. Kevin asked Fire Track and Fire Cover Art too. Who designed it?
It's one of our designers. Her Instagram is Baby Xander, Baby XNDR, and she's super dope. She hand draws a lot of stuff. So, you know, if you're interested in cover art, definitely tap in.
Nice. Cool. All right, y'all. Well, that covers everything for the afternoon. Thank you, Brendan and Naja, for joining us today. If everyone had a good time, raise the roof. Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go. Let's go. Cool. Justine, do you want to close this out?
Yes. Again, thank you, Naja. Thank you, Flawless. Thank you for everyone for choosing to start your Saturdays with us. Really, thank you. And for finding this platform valuable. You guys are family. We are here for you. Next Saturday, we're holding an A&R panel hosted by our beloved Kyle and Amanda. So you don't want to miss it. And also on the 20th, we collaborated with the Music Business Association. We're going to have a panel talking about music and wellness, and that'll be hosted by the beautiful, the wonderful, the best boss lady, Alexi. So you don't want to miss that. And again, thank you guys so much. Enjoy your Saturday. Much love. Peace out.
Thanks so much, everyone. If anyone has a question that they didn't get to ask, feel free to DM me, connect. Yeah.
Thank you, Naja. Thank you, Brendan. Oh,
Thank you,
and if anyone needs any more information, then hit us up on Instagram. You can find us at Finessed Media. And Naja's Instagram is there. Brendan's Instagram is there as well. Cool.
Bet.
All right, y'all. Bye. Thank you so
everybody.
much. Bye, everybody. Happy Saturday. Thank you.
Bye, bye, bye.